want a 50s kind of love. I want a heart that isn't so messed up. I want the pure stuff that I once dreamed of. Brush all the dirt under the rug.
You might be wondering, who the hell are you and why should I even care? Well, my confused companions, my name is Kenzie B. I am Mackenzie, aka the girl that lives online sometimes, aka New York City's newest resident. But not super new because I've been here for almost 3 months. So my partner and I are officially East Coasters. Again, we grew up on the East Coast. I grew up in Philly, he grew up in New Jersey, and we just wanted to live closer to our family, and we felt like being 20-somethings in New York was the right thing to do in this time period of our life. What the hell am I even saying? Okay, so we visited New York in July and did a whole big weekend of apartment hunting. And I documented a lot of this process of us moving in, getting settled, looking at apartments, and just wanted to kind of throw it all together into one video. Now, like I said, I've been here about 2 months. I'm pretty settled in at this point. So yeah, we came in July for a weekend to look at a bunch of apartments in Brooklyn, specifically Brooklyn, not Manhattan, because it's quieter, it's cheaper, we can still get to the city, and I've got a lot of anxiety that I don't think would do well in Manhattan. That place is very overstimulating. But anyway, I've moved 13 times in the last 9 years. This was the first time I ever got to look at apartments before I moved into them, which was cool. And I've got other stuff I gotta do today, so I'm gonna tell you guys about all those apartments while we go grocery shopping. So my audio completely cut out during this entire clip, which would have been super cute, but unfortunately, we're just gonna have to do it this way, voiceover style. So the first apartment that we looked at was our least favorite. It was not only really small, but it was right next to the ventilation system of the apartment, so you couldn't open the door without it being super loud. It had a pest issue, was located right next to the garbage room, and on top of all of that, it was $3,200. And while that would have been reasonable for any other apartment in this neighborhood, it wasn't giving anything for this one, so we had to go. The second apartment that we looked at was gorgeous. It was a railroad style apartment in Clinton Hill, right next to the G train, and a ton of groceries. It had huge living areas, but a really small kitchen, and pets had to be negotiated, even cats. It also had a 1.5 month broker fee, which those three things kind of killed it for us. It was at $3,600, which wasn't the worst, but those three specific things made it a no-go. The next place we looked at was actually my second favorite. We viewed a lot of apartments in this building. It was in an old opera house. It had huge ceilings. The one that we looked at was actually a corner unit with 2 bedrooms, so every room had light. I didn't even film it because we had looked at so many apartments in this building and they were all so different. But we didn't apply, even though the rent was $3,300, because we didn't want to invest a ton of money into such a big apartment and then not like the neighborhood a year later. But you know, knowing what we know now, there's a bit of regret. And the last place we looked at, we did apply to and we got approved for. It was $3,100, had a private roof, no pet fee, but it was too small for either of us to be able to work at home together, so we passed. And we looked at more places, but they had people living in the units, so we decided to not film those for privacy. And we actually looked at a lot of different units in our current apartment that I did film here. We chose our apartment because of the price. We got free amenities and laundry for the first year. And we'll have a look at our actual apartment unit much later in the video, but here's just a sneak peek at the style of our apartment and the other ones that we looked at. So after a long and stressful weekend of apartment hunting, going back and forth from New Jersey to New York, signing a lease, we hopped on the first flight back to Wisconsin, and then it became crunch time. What are you doing? We had to pack up our entire life within the span of a month. Now, most of my things were still in boxes because I didn't really unpack at Ezra's ever. But let's just say what followed was hectic. We spent our time spackling walls, selling things, throwing things away, terrifyingly packing up our TV, rolling up our mattress, and just trying to do everything as efficiently as possible without losing ourselves and losing our brains. The plan was to put all of our things into a U-Box, and this was going well until literally 30 minutes before we were done. We were doing our very last haul to the U-Box and had found out they actually moved it when all of our stuff wasn't finished, which was completely their fault, and the manager let me come back in the next day to fix everything. But just between that debacle and worrying that any of our things might be broken and our mattress opening up but still being rolled, it was truly stressful, but that still wasn't the hardest part of the move. The hardest part was absolutely saying goodbye. Finding friends after college is never easy, and our core friend group in Wisconsin are some of our favorite people on earth, and we consider them family. Nothing beats living a 5-minute drive from everyone that you care about and getting together once or twice a week just to spend time with one another. We miss all of them, and we're forever grateful to them for coming to help us pack and clean and for driving us to the airport at 4 in the morning. Love and miss you guys. But then came moving day. Moving day was long, and it actually went without too many hitches. You know, Raphael was super cute in his harness. He loved his harness and all the attention he got at the airport. Our bags were all underweight. We made it on the plane on time. The plane took off on time, landed early. We knocked out for the entire duration of the flight. Made it to the apartment without much fail and ended up not taking any footage as soon as we walked in because of the fact that we were just so tired and delusional and over it. So the apartment we went with is obviously our favorite. We get a lot of natural sunlight. We're like southwest facing. The sun does get pretty warm early in the day, but it's nothing too crazy. We've got a ton of amenities, laundry in unit. It's small, but we pay $3,600 and got the first month free. And we've also got our laundry free and some other stuff free for the year, so it worked out. But then less than 24 hours later, it was go time again. So I had to go all the way to Long Island to get our U-Box because for some reason that's where they dropped it off. And Piece of Cake met me there and basically loaded the truck up. I came all the way back to Brooklyn, and we spent the next couple of hours just getting all the stuff in the house. Thank you again to our super awesome friends for coming and helping us, our East Coast friends. It definitely made the move-in day, those couple of hours, a lot smoother. We then took way too many trips to count to IKEA, spent hours building our sofa. You're calling me a whore on camera.
Harley.
Look at our house. Cleaning the apartment, slowly figuring out where things should be placed, and built a ton of furniture. We even spent 6 hours trying to hang a shelf and are slowly getting more and more cozy in our space. I kind of want to do the rest of the video like this, but I should move before I get too comfortable. I'm just gonna hope that my voice overdrowns the sirens. Welcome to New York. They seriously have been going on for like 10 minutes and it's ridiculous, but the first couple of months in any move is always difficult. You go through the emotions of just like insanity, regret, doubt, anger, confusion, and at some point you hit happiness and acceptance. And I guess we'll find out. Till then, I'm working on making friends, still looking for a UX job. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Remember to drink water and we're gonna be okay. Alright guys, bye.